Hey, how's it going, YouTube? I'm back in another video, and today I'm talking about, can Markel Fultz still save his career? Now, obviously, Markel Fultz is one of the more interesting / kind of sad stories in the NBA in recent history. As I mean, he was the #1 overall pick, and he had tons of hype around him. And due to some of the most mysterious circumstances that still we don't have answers to this day, he just really hasn't panned out at all, and he has potential to become one of the biggest busts in NBA history if he cannot turn his career around. But in this video, I'm be giving reasons why I think he could still turn his career around and still be a solid player in the NBA, and what even happened to get him to this point. So without further ado, without rambling on too much, let's get right into this video. Alright, now so before I get into how he could potentially turn his career around, I want to get into how did he even get to where he is at his point in his career. How did he go from being a #1 overall pick to becoming one of the potential biggest busts in NBA history? So let's go back to when he was drafted. In 2017, he was picked #1 overall by the Philadelphia 76ers. And the 76ers picked him so that he could be that the #1 scoring option on their team, and if not #1 scoring option, that player that can score from every point on the court. Because yes, they have Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, but they both are not very good shooters at all. Joel Embiid becoming a better shooter, but Ben Simmons cannot shoot a jump shot to save his life. Joel Embiid is a below average jump shooter, and outside of JJ Redick, they really didn't have anyone that could shoot and just score from every point on the court. Well, Markel Fultz in college, he was that player that could score in the inside, mid-range, and three, and they really did want that, so they were going to put him at the point guard, and he was going to be a very big piece of their offense. But despite him being in the league for 2 years now, he's only started 15 games and played in 33 games in his entire career. Now, yes, that's due to some crazy injuries that we still really don't have any answers to what they really were, but I mean, in the games that he actually did play, he only averaged 7.7 points per game, 3.4 rebounds per game, and 3.4 assists per game. Now, yes, he was most likely injured in most of those games that he did play, especially when he was trying to play through injury early. I mean, obviously he was injured, so we haven't really seen him 100% healthy on an NBA court, maybe at all in his entire career. But, I mean, if he can't get healthy, obviously he's going to be going down as one of the biggest busts. But there have been reports from Orlando that he is 100% healthy, and he will be leading that Orlando Magic second group going into next year. So next year is probably going to be his prove it year, his statement year, to say whether he's still a good player in the NBA or not. Because, I mean, really, we have not had a big enough sample size to know how good Markel Fultz could be in the NBA. So it's going to be very interesting to watch how he can lead the bench, and maybe if he can even take the starting spot from Terrence Ross going into this year. It's going to be extremely interesting to watch. But now, I mean, obviously, that's how he got there, but now let's get into, could he still be a good player in the NBA? Well, for the first time in his career, like I said earlier, he's going to be 100% healthy, and I personally think we never saw that, because there's no way Markel Fultz went from having a very good three-point shot and three-point stroke from college to going in the NBA to where you can barely shoot a free throw. That's just not something that works, and that has to do something with his injury that he had. So if he is 100% healthy, his shooting stroke should be back, which means his jump shot should also be back. So if he can get to where he could even kind of is shooting like he was in college, and if he can bring that a little bit over into the NBA, well, that would be 10 times better than what we've seen so far from him, and I think it would be very cool to watch him have a redemption story and everything. But now whether he can do that, I really don't know, because I mean, at this point, it's probably in his head that he cannot shoot. Like players have given up on him, said he's just kind of a head case now. His shoulder's been healthy. Some of his trainers said his shoulder's not even hurt anymore. It's just in his head. He forgot how to shoot. There's been a lot of reports like that, and I mean, when you don't have any confidence, it's very hard as an NBA player to get it back, especially when everybody is down on you. But maybe with him being 100% healthy and the Orlando coach believing in him enough to let him lead the second group off the bench, maybe that will give him some confidence, and he will be able to slowly build his confidence back up to get back to where he was when he was getting drafted. So I think, I mean, we did see flashes when he was playing with the 76ers. I think he's still the youngest player in the league to have a triple-double. So, I mean, we've seen some very good flashes from Markel Fultz, but, I mean, we have not seen enough of it consistently at all, but that's mainly because he's never in the games. So I think with Orlando, he's going to get opportunity, he's going to get playing time, and I think he does have potential to turn his career around. I don't think he's going to ever live up to the hype of being that #1 overall pick. At this point, I think that's already past him, but I do think he could still be a solid bench player, maybe even a kind of borderline starter for this Orlando Magic team. But unfortunately, guys, that's going to be for this video, so comment below. Do you agree with me? Do you think Markel Fultz could turn his career around? Do you think he can't? I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. And Hey, also, if you are right here, comment who you think the biggest bust in NBA history was. I want to hear your comments. And if you are watching the video, I just want to know who watched it all the way to the end. And if you did like the video, at any point, hit the like button and subscribe button. It would mean the absolute word to me. And hope you have a blessed day. Can I have a blessed day? So you need to have a blessed day. All glory to God. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah.